Mother, I have come home. Timmy, don't you realize it's 7 p.m. and your curfew is at 4 p.m.? But mother, I am 28 years old. Don't try that with me. You're still my child and will forever be my property. But mother, that is really toxic. To the coal mines with you. So anyway, good evening, laddies, lasses, and lassos. Welcome to the click. I'm totally not playing with plushies because I am a functional adult in society. Speaking of being a functional adult in society, you smell amazing today. But that's not what I meant to say. I meant to say that the Emotional Support Demon is gonna be available permanently in stock starting the 14th of February on Valentine's. If you want to give it to a loved one, which can also be yourself. You should look out for it and get it then. Yes, indeed, it's beautiful. I've talked like 3 plushies already. Speaking of beautiful, beautiful pieces of content, today, we're going to do something that I have been looking forward to. We're going to play Insane Parents Bingo. Bingo! So to have a look at our beautiful bingo card, we start off with insulting your child. Wholesome family vibes. Invading privacy. Privacy is for losers, anger issues, trashing property, projecting anxiety, which is always a vibe, lack of empathy, breaking boundaries, freak out, religious nonsense, entitled parents, bad school, gay agenda, anything that makes me go like this, like it's gonna be fascinating. I feel like this is a mood for a lot of these videos. Drunk texts, because that's always fun. Stalker warning, anti-vax, my little angel. You know when a child is being a real poo-poo, but the parent is like, no, they're my little angle. They can never be wrong. But of course they can be, because they're probably a little pile of poo. They're not an angle for real, so that's pretty funny. Anti-contraceptive, dismissing mental health, threatening housing, creep, and then we have just excessive cussing, which is kind of funny when you're texting someone who is a supposed adult individual and they just go off the rails and like every second word is a cuss word. That's always fun. Facebook science. You cannot have an Insane Parents Bingo without some Facebook science, okay? Location tracking and actually wholesome sparkles. Let's see if we get them. Maybe I'll force this one in with like a wholesome side tangent. So that's going to be fun. Let's see how many bingos we can get, baby. So I do hope you're here for the show and just sit back, relax, and enjoy. Mwah. Yes, indeed. That was not my noise. Mom's reaction to me hosting Christmas dinner. Hello, Blor. First, thanks for the gifts and thank you for the nice dinner. Then, I know you usually have a short attention span to what I say. Did you just start off this whole thing by insulting your child? Hey, I know your attention span is bad, but let me just rant at you for a bit. All right, you know what? I'm gonna pop this right under insulting child right away, just for good measure, because I feel I might forget this one otherwise. But in this case, you must read this, please. It is well intended. I know I've said it before, but it didn't stick with you. It appears that you would rather listen to others or to yourself rather than your mom, who has hosted for decades. If you decide to host a Christmas dinner at such an important holiday meal dinner, you know that you must work hard before and after. Clean, cook, host, and cater to guests. Clean again, kinda busy. I personally don't like to do it anymore. Here are some simple etiquette rules for a host that will help ensure a fun, successful party. Number 1. When making a plan of what to serve, you buy and or cook what your guests would like first, and then what you like. Or, you know, the easiest way is just to find something that everyone likes, you know, or depending on the party. Like, I host cheese parties sometimes. Most of my friends like cheese. 9 out of 10 of them like cheese. 1 out of 10 don't. So either you just improvise a side meal, or they just show up for the next event instead. Like, it ain't that complex, fam. Come on. You need to have at least 2 appetizers and never serve them in the store-bought container. Add a few types of snacks, crackers, cheese, cuts, olives, dry fruits, again, on your china plate, nicely displayed, again, never in the store-bought box. What is this rant about? Like, some of this stuff, like, makes sense, of course. It's much more charming to put out, you know, cookies on a nice plate instead of a plastic bag. You know, yeah, duh, but why are you ranting at your child about this? Main dish must include 2 types of meat, since not everyone might like the kind you like. Maybe chicken and sausage, or fish or such. We loved your chicken, by the way. Main dish must be served at least 1 side dish, and you must give people options. Mashed potatoes, veggies, etc. You know, the thing is that advice can very often be kind of unsolicited, and it becomes very unpleasant when they've already hosted a nice dinner party. You were there because you're thanking them for it, but then you have like this long list of hyper-specific demands that they have to do, otherwise the dinner is perceived as objectively bad.
What? Drinks, you must have all options. Vodka, cognac, beer. Oh my god, it just keeps going. There's like a whole paragraph just about drinks. People come to a party to enjoy it. They can be saved in your bar for other parties if not finished. Must have what you know. Oh my god.
If you wanted to write an article with like life hack stuff or how to think about hosting dinners for like 19-year-olds that are just getting into adult life, yeah. But this is a weird thing to send to someone that has already hosted something that you're supposed to like be, I don't know, thankful for. I wouldn't like to get this after I put effort into dinner party and be like, you didn't have vodka drinks. What?
At least one host should not drink alcoholic so they can warm up, serve clean, and attend to guests, the meals, etc.
I mean, to be honest, when I have guests over, I typically drink too. It's not like you become incompetent of like cleaning dishes just because you had a couple of beers and you're tipsy. Come on, what the hell?
You can imagine a drunk or dizzy host trying to do all the above.
Yeah, it's no problem. Sometimes it's even more enjoyable because like you just forget and time passes and
all drinking on empty stomach. The food can be warmed up, should be on the open when first guest. If you feel that you don't have time and experience for this, then just go ahead and buy the food and suggest. All the above are first common sense rules. They started by all famous chefs on internet. If your mom is not good enough for you.
Jeez, this is some real insecurity stuff, but at least she's like citing her sources, sort of. The sources basically Google it, but still.
On a more personalized note, your dinner was nice, beautiful table display, good chicken and salad. I would have dressed a few options I said above and less sweets. I feel like Blorp understood that your dad likes sweets, so the cookie selection was great and we got many types. Anyway, the wine glasses look nice, but they're very light, ready to flip over in a couple of times.
This is something you would expect if you run a 4 or 5-star restaurant and you have a food critic that you're bouncing ideas with. This isn't something like, oh my god, your wine glasses, I don't feel like they're heavy enough. That's your critique? When you're at someone else's house for a dinner party? Oh, speaking of which, I'm gonna break my own rule, like multiple stamps for a single one, but it's a long post, fam, so I think it's justified. This definitely made me go like this. I'm losing what little is left of my sanity, if it was even there to begin with.
If you like cheaper versions, that's fine. Just make sure they stand safely.
Okay, maybe I'll just put some like double-sided duct tape on the bottom of your wine glasses there. Maybe you'll be happy then. Huh?
The shelves are Goodwill, full of hundreds and thousands of the nice looking but cheap quality like those. Why do you think that is? Just stop spending cheap stuff and get yourself... These are just tips and tricks for a lovely party. I don't expect you to know all at once. You're too young and no experience. Okay, well, okay. You know what? You're getting a second stamp in this one, just because good measure. If you're gonna like inform someone about something, right? Like bounce ideas. Number 1, time and place. So this is not a 5-star restaurant and you're not a food critic. Number 2, you can do it in a way that isn't patronizing. You know, there is a way to bounce ideas and be like, give feedback and stuff without being patronizing. You've insulted like their attention span. You've insulted their cheapness. You've insulted like everything. No. Oh my, it keeps going. God. On another note, try not to drink when having dinner with Blorp parents. I can tell you from hearing my colleagues and friends with sons and their girlfriends, absolutely none like to see the girls drink at all.
Oh my god, do we have a bit of double standards and sexism mixed in the bunch? Yay.
Of course, you like to brush it off again, but I'm right and I don't lie.
Do I have something on this bingo card like my opinion is fact? I don't think I do, sadly.
You can always drink as much as you want afterwards if you really have the urge.
Oh my god, are you seriously telling them to like drown the stress of having this hyper demanding dinner party after the fact?
Run around and be a server and don't think about yourself, but as soon as the guests leave, just like down a bottle of whiskey because it was obviously so hard and stressful.
You're really selling this. Wow. Or maybe just, have fun, relaxed, nice, cozy dinner parties that everyone enjoys, including the hosts, Maybe that will make the situation just better, vibey, and everything. And you will probably want to do it more often as well because it's fun. Just a thought.
But try not to finish your glass when it's in their presence. Even if they show it's okay, I can't even emphasize from my point of view how terrible look when all the people who can't stop. My whole life experience showed me how terrible that is. My parents didn't drink more than 1-2 glasses.
Why are we talking about, like, family history now?
My dear, my love, don't take this as a lecture. But it is a lecture. What are you talking? What? You're old enough to understand now that I love you too much and I want everything to be perfect and you to have success in life on every field.
Yeah, but part of letting someone else be happy is also like letting them have free reins to figure out what they like and what they want, right? You know, you can have, for example, a parent that really wants their kid to become a doctor, but if they're not into it, it's not actually gonna do them any favors in the long run. You know, you need the balance between, like, you can help with things that are welcome and obvious advice and that kind of stuff, but when you try to limit someone too much or, like, create it for them, it rarely turns out well. And that includes, you know, advice when your children are adults and having dinner parties. If you don't like the way they do their dinner parties, you can just not show up, I guess? Like, what?
You have success in life on every field, starting with your personal life, your job, your career, your friends, your parties, your everything. I wouldn't be a good mom if I didn't say it. You're the center of our lives, and that's supposed to be. If not, then something is wrong. And please do not hesitate to lecture me. If you think I deserve it, I don't mind a good, sincere advice.
But, you know, there's a difference between wholesome, like, constructive advice and, like, a lecture. God damn.
Also, I'm getting older, so maybe I deserve some pushing or pulling sometimes.
This is like paragraphs. I mean, it keeps going.
Yes, therefore I used to be as dismissive as you are for about 2 months before I got married, so...
Now go back to the beginning and read this lecture again. No whining, please. Thanks.
I love it. When I host a dinner party for family and friends, and I get like a 15-paragraph lecture, that my wine glasses aren't heavyweight enough. You know, this is a good way to make sure that people don't actually enjoy hosting parties, so they won't do it, or you just won't be invited again. This is a shortcut to not having fun. Why take it so serious? Jesus Christ.
I will be burning all photos, school photos, books, cards, school drawings, and all evidence of you for my life and our family. Waste your time running to someone about this last email if you like, but it will be the last time you hear from me ever. Therefore, not necessary. Every evidence of you will be erased from our lives, and you will be giving me the proof I need to cut you from all inheritance ever. From now on, you don't exist. I have one daughter, and all trace of you will be gone burnt, as it should be. I have one daughter, and I'm glad that I finally found out the truth and what a liar you are, and who will go to extreme lengths for revenge. Your name will be never mentioned again, and all trace will be gone.
This is like the kind of speech I would expect a supervillain to have after, like, dragged off at the end of the movie, and they're having this, like, unhinged, vengeful speech, like, I will return! It's that kind of vibe, fam. What are you doing?
I promise this is his last contact as per the order I will be served on Saturday. A stranger.
The email I received from my mother after she found out I got a restraining order against her. So this person basically goes like, this person got a restraining order against me for all my harassment. What's the solution? I know! More harassment! Yes, indeed, everybody loves a bit of harassment. No. Oh, wait, we have a bingo card just for this. Wow, okay, yeah, the threat of, like, not reaching out doesn't really hit that hard when you already have a restraining order against you. It's like, oh, you got a restraining order against me? I will never talk to you again. Yeah, that's the point. That's exactly the point. So anyway, I would say we definitely have some anger issues here. I'm gonna pop that in right away. Do we have a freak out? Maybe. Stalker warning. Booyah. I knew I had it somewhere. I knew I had it. Beautiful. Thank you. Bada bing, bada boom. And I'm fine with stamping in like 2 things per card because these stories are quite long. So like to make sure I get as much bingo as possible. I'm just making up rules as I go along, okay, it's fine. Mom is upset I won't give sister back her deposit after damages.
Why have you not given back adopted sister her deposit?
I am still waiting on the repair to give me an estimate of how much the damages she caused comes out to. I'm about to drive home. We can call about this when I get home. Love you.
What damages are you talking about?
There's a few minor ones that honestly shouldn't cost much, but there are major ones. She would use my desk to do her homework on and would rock the chair even though I told her not to because it would damage the wood. And well, she did it anyway. The floor is so badly scraped up that it looks like a demon was crawling around. That and due to her brushing her hair in the shower. Again, I told her not to because she clogged the shower drain once, and the shower drain is clogged again. We tried getting one of those things that unclogs drains, but it didn't work, so the plumber had to remove part of the wall in the kitchen to get to the pipes, along with her slamming the bathroom door so hard she straight up somehow broke the doorknob and it came out in pieces. Oh my god. I mean, there's like being a little bit messy around the house and that kind of stuff. That can be fine, at least if you clean up after yourself. But this is just a wear and tear that sounds like someone who's kind of acting like a child, but has the like adult strength and body of an adult. You know, it's like throwing toddler tantrums, but as an adult, but with like cleanliness. Does that make sense? I feel like that applies pretty well.
I can come over Friday to sand and paint the floor. That way she isn't being charged for it.
I can do Friday. Why don't we do Tuesday? We both have those days off.
BF will be home, won't he?
Okay, so this is basically like the adopted little sister, I guess, was like renting or living in the apartment that they owned, I guess. Something like that, like family deals and whatever. He will be, but I don't feel as though he will be comfortable with being around you alone due to some of the things you said to him, along with the apartment being in my name, so I would like to be there to make sure it goes smoothly.
Oh wow, so you don't freaking trust me? Also, what the frick is adopted sis paying for the clogged drain? You could have contributed to the hair.
It's not that I don't trust you, I would just like to be there to make sure it all goes smoothly is all. I can wait for the repairman to come until you have time to come over and do so. I do have a hair catcher because everyone of course sheds hair, but she would consistently brush her hair in the shower without it. That sounds like really asking for a clog. Isn't it easy to just like pick out the brush and stuff and not do it in the shower? It seems like it's asking for trouble, doesn't it? I already paid once to unclog it, but I don't think it's fair for me to do so again when I do things to prevent this.
Screenshot of virtual wallet? Why did adopted sis send you all this money?
She spent $82 at Aldi's since she buys her own groceries. The agreement we made when she came to my house. The 8.9 was her own doing, the 150 to me was for her rent as I'm not charging her the 400 we agreed on yet, and the 10 to boyfriend was because he paid for something of hers because she left her wallet in the car.
You allowed her to spend $82 on groceries and still charge her rent?
I don't know where you come from, fam, but rent typically doesn't include grocery services. Unless you have like roommates with a deal and you like do groceries every second week or something. I don't know, fam. This is wild, and I still wouldn't count into rent. What kind of expectations are this?
She's a freaking child, you should have paid for her groceries then.
No ma'am, you still do not get to speak to me this way. I understand that she's 16, but when you asked for her to live with me, it was because she was acting as an adult and you wanted her to experience such actions. So it's like a teenager. I mean, 16 is still like old enough to buy your own food unless you plan to cook something together. You know, that's pretty valid, especially if they moved in with someone who's not the parent. Meaning I do not control where she spends her money as long as she can pay me rent. We agreed for her to pay $400 on my rent, no utilities, to show her responsibilities, along with her paying for her own groceries. I told you this from the beginning. I am 19 years old paying $1,200 in rent and utilities, along with personal bills. Also, this person also isn't very old. I assume this was like a 30-year-old or something that just let like a adopted sister stay with them for a while. But they're like almost the same age. Oh my god. Yeah, no, then this treatment is definitely not particularly fair. Like, you can't expect a 19-year-old to act like a replacement parent for their 16-year-old, like, adopted sister. That is a weird expectation from this parent. Things for the house and cats, along with food and car repairs. In no form would I ever be paying for anything of hers. Boyfriend is still in the process of getting on disability for his back and can't work, so I'm working 2 jobs to make ends meet currently. This was the agreement.
Give me your landlord's number.
Why?
To prove that these repairs are actually happening.
Okay, this person has already agreed to this teenager moving in with them, so they can like learn responsibilities to probably take some load off of this parent because the parent doesn't seem very fit as a parent to begin with. And then you try to micromanage someone else's household that they pay for in full and even work 2 jobs because of the people around them are in trouble.
Oh my, what level of entitlement is this? Holy shite.
In no way am I giving you my landlord's number.
And that's also such a Karen move, isn't it? That's basically like, I want to speak to your manager, but it's like, I want to speak to your landlord.
When the repair person comes, I will personally send you the receipt of everything. I am a grown adult and my mother shouldn't be calling my landlord for proof that my house is damaged. That is weird.
Give it to me or else. You know I will frickin' track her down.
Is this like a Taken movie or what?
Or do you just not have her freaking deposit?
I do have it, Mom. It's in my savings account and it hasn't been touched. We agreed on this deposit because we both knew that I'm renting this place, and if it got damaged, it wouldn't be fair for me to pay for it when I was doing this favor for you.
Give me the money, full name!
Okay, honestly, I'm gonna go out on a limb in this point and say that this probably doesn't have to do with the teenager themselves, because it sounds perfectly reasonable, right? It sounds more like this parent might have issues with an addiction maybe, or maybe a gambling problem, something like that makes them in need of money really fast, and they have something else pushing really hard in the back of their head that makes them really disagreeable and aggressive about getting it. This doesn't sound like a reasonable argument regarding the deposit and damages themselves. This sounds like it has an other motive to it, doesn't it? We did in fact agree on the entire summer, but due to her multiple abusive behaviors in my home, I had to have her leave my home. I didn't want to be responsible for a child at 19 anyway, but I did it to help you. She verbally abused Brian, stole things repeatedly, and disrespected me in my own home. You knew I already had issues with her from the jump when she was adopted due to her behavior when I was SA'd. But I still treated her with kindness when she moved in because she was headed on the wrong track. My priority is making sure I don't become homeless, that things are taken care of, and my own mental peace of mind.
I am coming over. Let's see who gets mouthy then.
What an unreasonable person. Is this person addicted to something? That's like either that or they're used to being like really abusive with people around them. Or maybe a bit of both. This is not a normal confrontation in the least, even if they disagree with the damages, right? If you take this discussion to a more tangible place, this is not a reasonable ask. Like, there are obvious damages, then you can, for example, discuss how much it actually cost and if they should get some of the deposit back. But this is really weird. If you come over, it will be without permission and I will have to remove you from my property. Last time you came over angry with me, you had a loaded gun in your pocket. What is with this parent, man? What the hell? How did this person get an adopted child? Holy shite, dude. I will remind you that I now have a gun in my home, and if you come over to mine with a weapon, I will press charges due to you trespassing with a gun you aren't even registered to have.
I will see you in court. Give her back her frickin' money or I swear to God.
I would just call the cops on this person. They are literally threatening to come to your home with a weapon, and then they're threatening legal action because of a deposit over damages that very obviously happened. This is a person I would definitely just cut all ties with. Like, I don't want to exaggerate that kind of stuff because some relations can be repaired. This is not one of them. Holy shite, this is not one of them. Speaking of a lighter note, bingo! Yippee! Alright, what do we have here? We have so much stuff. Like, this is definitely my little angel part of it, right? They could never damage anything, you know? That's part of it. Like, this is a parent endorsing a child that's obviously done bad things, you know, and just letting them get away with it. It's definitely entitled parents. Really entitled stuff. I mean, it's also like breaking boundaries. It's also... But I'm gonna stick to two, right? I'm gonna stick to two. That seems reasonable for this one. These two are the biggest ones, but... Oh my God, get away from this person. Jesus Christ, what an unstable mess. Like trying to co-parent with your biological parent because they adopted a child. Because they can't deal with... Who let this person adopt in the first place? What? Kudos to this person for like stepping up and trying to give the 16-year-old a fair shot at life, but it shouldn't be at the detriment of your own mental health and life stability. Because the truth is that this isn't a child that you took responsibility for. You didn't adopt them. And it's nice to help people around you, definitely, but you need to put yourself first because otherwise the consequence is that you won't even be able to take care of yourself down the road, and you know, then you can't help that other person either. Being stable enough to help someone first, like that's the order of operations, that's how it goes, and especially if you have a parent like this on the other end of it. Ooh, props for trying. I would cut them off. Jesus Christ, condolences, that sounds so bad.
Merry Christmas, Blorb! Christmas trees! I send money to a bank. Here is a bowl of food. Fancy a biryani? No? Voice call!
That's really nice of you. You shouldn't have. Sorry, was fast asleep. I've been making use of my days off by snoozing as long as possible. I'll show you some of the Egyptian food later. Party emoji.
Don't bother.
Okay.
Missed phone call. Missed phone call. Missed phone call. Missed phone call. Your narrative is that your mother is an alcoholic. So why am I excluded from conversation?
Never said you were excluded. Always said I'm happy for you to come down after work. I don't like to answer the phone when you're drinking.
Missed phone call. Missed phone call. I did forgive you. Missed phone call. In their culture, I must be there, so why was I excited? You did not help with my life-changing operation. Sorry, but I can't cover anymore.
This is why I don't talk to you when you're drunk.
Bye. You've been not helpful since my operation or rehabilitation. Cruel. I'm not going to cover up for you anymore.
Okay. Being there for someone in recovery is not equivalent to dealing with their abusive behavior when they're drunk. That's not a part of recovery. That's just you being a butthole and blaming something else to get away with it. Stop.
Did you take me for more my operation, pre-op, follow-up? You just talked to me anyway, you just cut me off. Goodbye, Blorp.
You are choosing to cut me off.
No, that was your sure. Bye. I should have dumped you into care, as Gran and social services said, and sorted myself out.
Oh, they're basically going down the you were the mistake route. That's always a mature line of conversation. Hell yeah.
You've been neglected to me. I've tried to see things from you. I've had to learn how to walk since that operation. Do you know how that will be? No, I've just managed to put my foot into the knickers without falling out. You wanted to know about my alcohol history? I had done 4 years of abstinence until you left without notice. You've neglected me. Abandoned cat? Killed that bird.
What? Stop being abusive and get sober. Not everything is about you and how sorry you feel for yourself. You act as if the world revolves around you. You could have asked what I was doing for Christmas and joined me, but you didn't, and now you're sat at home feeling sorry for yourself. Grow up. Good on this person for standing up for themselves. God damn.
Come round and talk to me about it.
You're my mom, not the other way around like you keep freaking forgetting. You fixed the mess you made. What you said today is unbelievably rude. Don't expect to treat people like poo and they run to you.
You are my daughter and I made so many sacrifices for you. However, those you will never know.
Oh, now they're going down like you were a mistake, but you also owe me because I chose to bring you into this world. Wow, they're really checking all the boxes, aren't they? Goody.
I can't help you anymore. Sorry, amazing. You keep avoiding me. Scared? I will never see you again in this world. That is your choice.
Keep avoiding. Yeah, I wonder why. Maybe you should read back your own conversation. Might give you a hint. No, that's your choice. Come down after work if you want. I already told you this.
Postcode? I don't know where you work or when you finish, so all that's
vague, I guess they try to say. You know where I live. I finish at 3:30, so don't know what you're talking about.
Right, blurb, texting is. Hope you have a great day. Give me example of people of how I've treated like poo.
Just read the conversation. You suggested they were a mistake and that they owe you for bringing you into this world and keep swearing and accusing us. You don't have to look far. Just read the last 5 minutes of conversation. It's so easy.
I will meet you at blurb station, if that is where you mean. Kitty emoji.
I should have dumped you into care as Granin. Okay, I hope you remember this comment when you wake up from being blackout drunk yet again, because I will. You sounded exactly like Dad did when I said I'm not comfortable with the way I'm being treated. And then here's text from today.
I won't be meeting you. I can change my alcohol consumption, but you can't stop being selfish.
That's the takeaway. It's like, I can change, so I don't treat people like poo, but the fact that you didn't want to put up with it means that you're selfish? Who's being the selfish one? You're being the selfish one by making your problem someone else's. That is being selfish. Moving away from someone who's being mean at you is not selfish. That's just basic self-care. You have this whole thing backwards.
Consider this an estrangement.
What a threat.
Anyway, I wish you well.
You tell me you should have put me in care and then say I am being selfish, laughing emoji. Both my parents now officially admit they only have conditional love for me when it benefits them. No worries, my doors is open if you want to say sorry, but you won't. Oh my god, that's so embarrassing. And even after they sober up, they still double down. That blows my mind. Because some people really do change when they drink. And that is never an excuse. If you change that much when you drink, then your responsibility is to not drink in the first place. That's the thing. But this person seems to be equally poopy when they're sober too. Or at the very least can't own up to the fact that they were poopy when they were drunk. Anyway, bingo card baby. This definitely goes under drunk texts. Jesus freaking Christ. We almost have a bingo here in the middle one. If you have a gay agenda and bad school, then we get a bingo, baby. Hell yeah. What a treat? Sort of, like a poop sandwich. Stepdad texted me about my lady parts falling out. You knew why, pig. Does your stepdad call you pig? What a cute nickname. Ugh.
You're freaking weird, creep. Never contact me again.
You're a pig for twisting it.
You're freaking weird for bringing up my lady parts, Foogie.
Over this fallopian tube is a girl's part, pig. Not what you're referring to.
Still freaking disgusting to bring up, weirdo.
You're disgusting for spinning, pig.
You are freaking disgusting. I know you aren't calling me a coward, coming from a man who likes to punch holes in walls when he's trying to drunkenly beat his girlfriend's son. Oh my god.
Whatever you say, snowflake.
When you're this much of a disaster, and people don't like that, as you're an adult, you don't get to call others snowflake. That's not like a comeback. This is just embarrassing.
See my cat Wednesday.
Try not to get STD while you're down there.
I wouldn't be shocked if you already had one.
Drive safely, snowflake.
Drive safely drunk.
I don't drink. You know that.
R-word. This is an actual adult man that speak like, a edgy 16-year-old in a Call of Duty lobby who stole alcohol from their parents. That's how this person speak. That blows my mind. Okay, this gives me like secondhand embarrassment, which is impressive because this person probably doesn't feel embarrassment themselves. But anyway, this is drunk text again. A lot of drunk text today. And what else do we have? We have like, creep. Definitely creep. Booyah. Congratulations. You ended up in the creep box. You know that you're going about life good when you end up on a creep stamp on an Insane Parents bingo card. Congratulations. My brother hosted and asked people to leave by 2 a.m. Don't ever come to my house ever again, I swear to God. I genuinely feel disrespected to the highest degree. Don't ask to have poo at my house ever again. And I can't even ask for the privacy of my own home? Ya nos corriste tu casa, te parale tu... Puto. Okay, I see kind of where this conversation is going. My Spanish is far from perfect, but I understand enough to get the gist. That's not good. A brother asked people to turn down music at 1:30 a.m. After leaving the tent, our mom turned the music back up. Wow. He went back out at 2 a.m. and asked him to leave since he had 4 kids sleeping and he wanted to go to bed as well. I mean, also you're in a neighborhood, right? I'm assuming this is like a suburban area. Your neighbors probably wouldn't be too excited about loud music at 2 a.m. This is just basic respect for like everyone around. Our mom then started talking poo and calling him a useless son, that he's disrespectful for kicking them out if he knew how long they like to party for. Last year they partied until 5 a.m. Yeah, but you're not in your own house now, are you? If you want to keep partying and the host doesn't want to keep partying, you can just go to an after party somewhere or find a pub that's still open or just keep drinking at home, like whatever your choice is, but respect the host, fam. Brother confronted her and she sped out of the driveway. Drunk, I'm assuming as well, that's classy. He had a breakdown due to previous trauma from mom and decided to tell them off. Mom replied and said, "You already ran us out of your house, stop trying with your BS and don't come trying to apologize or I'll kick your butt." Good riddance. My God, what horrible people. Stepdad replied,
"Calm down. We never asked anything of you, but thank God we have more thank just y'all. But don't worry, we won't ask anything of you ever again."
That little nice little backwards guilt trip. Oh, gotta love that. Insane! The time frame aside, if you're at a party at someone else's house, you abide by their rules. Heck, this was probably in a suburb somewhere, so if you're pissing off your neighbors with loud music too. That mom is a piece of work though. Who the heck has grown-up kids in the energy to party until 5 a.m. or later? She thinks because she's our mother, she can dictate how long she will be at our homes for parties or get-togethers. Oh my god, okay, this goes straight under entitled parent. That's so entitled. Oh my god, this expands on the whole concept of like, I had you, so I owned you. But I also own your house. That's so cringe. I'm gonna be honest, I would say this also falls under invading privacy because you're like dictating the rules in someone else's home, which is really like stepping over boundaries. I mean, it also breaks boundaries. It also breaks boundaries. All the posts in the subreddit, it breaks boundaries. All the posts in the subreddit break boundaries, fam god. My friend's mother trying to get pics of her grandkids.
Can you do my massive favor to go to my daughter's Blur page and screenshot any photos of my grandson and daughter? She's not letting me see them and not even meet my grandson, but please don't let her know. I am asking. Love you all. Merry Christmas. XXX.
That sounds like some serious boundaries you're asking me to break. I'm not comfortable doing that. If there is a reason she's not letting you see them, I am sorry, but I am not breaking her trust. Speaking of which, because people are going to be in the comments like, click, you stamped too many on one card. Well, now we get break boundaries anyway. Checkmate, commenters. Hell yes. I was blocked by this person. Can you, second person, please creep on them and send me their photos anyway? Ooh. Yeah, this is my mother. She's cut off for good as well. I won't post my kids on social media at all, partially for this reason. I think in general, it's very smart to be careful with what you put up on social media because it's so easy to access and it doesn't really go away. This is something I practiced pretty hard even before I became a YouTuber due to like similar privacy issues as this person is expressing, but as a creator it becomes even more so because you never know who's gonna look at it. You know, I remember seeing that a few times, you know, when it's like, oh, I have this person I'm looking for that's working somewhere looking for a phone number. You Google their name and the first thing that comes up are like pictures of their kids. And you're like, what the? Oh my god, dude. Jesus Christ. I think people don't realize how vulnerable you can become if you encounter the wrong people. Stuff like this is super important to be aware about, and don't do it like that. It's really bad. If anything, use like privated social media or something at least, because there are stalkers and shady people out there, and especially on the internet, they probably don't creep on only one person, they creep on a lot of people. Not to like, overhype scaredness or anything around the subject, but be careful because you don't know who's looking. The people who get them privately, I add a tiny dot of color with the edit app somewhere in the corner of the picture. If someone violates our trust, I will know by the color dot who it was, and they're cut off as well. That is so smart. Oh my god. So they have like a little sneaky detail to add to the photos. So if someone leaks the photo to their like stalky relative, they will know who leaked it. That is so smart. Oh my god. ETA, here is a list of some of the shenanigans this woman has pulled. Physical and emotional abuse mentioned. Knowingly left us with a physically abusive father for work. She was actually hanging out with friends and screwing around on him, but loved playing the good guy in comparison. Never mind the breaking brushes and wooden spoons across your kids' behinds and heads is also physical abuse. Jesus Christ, man. But in comparison and being kids, it took a long time to see that. I have scars from belt bearings buckle on my thighs from him. No physical scars from her, so she was better. Yeah, she was better. She just didn't have as much of a punch behind the belt whippings. Wow, what a good person. If that's what you're comparing yourself to, like, it's okay, I stabbed this person because someone else shot someone. It's like, what? The hell? Bare minimum to care for us, not even that frequently through childhood. I rarely got my vaccinations on schedule, although we did at least get the ones required to attend school. Only went to the dentist once as a minor, and only because little sister had the worst teeth and had an infection, and she had CPS called on her by school. Constantly harping on how the doctors told me to abort you because I was so sick, but I decided we would both live and die together. What, oh my god. My whole memory didn't like my response as a teen of okay, and I wouldn't be capable of knowing that and wouldn't exist, so why do you keep bringing it up? It's a weird thing to hold over someone's head, right? If I have kids in the future, and like there's ever any question regarding health or stuff around it, and you decide to push through it, I have no idea exactly what the context is, but that isn't something you bring up with the kid, unless they ask or it very specific comes up during like, I don't know, health talks or maybe like genetical concerns or something. It isn't something you hold over their head. What the hell, man? As young as 5 to 6, she would frequently talk about wanting to step in front of a truck and just ending things. In hindsight, obvious attempt to guilt and manipulation. Yeah, that would be the only reason why you would do that. Or like a very rampant main character syndrome, which maybe is probably a bit of like, a Venn diagram crossover between those two. She did this the most when I had the audacity to complain about watching my younger siblings, beginning at 8. Oh, and the next youngest is only 2 years younger, and the youngest is 1 year younger than that sister. And we became less cute and less easy to control as we became preteens and teens. She had trouble keeping up the mask. As kids, we got lots of cuddles and affection, but the mental poo mentioned before messes with you. Yeah, it's like it teaches you something permanently from a very young age, and it teaches you that you can't trust the people, even the people closest to you. It's a horrible standard to set for like children at a young age. That is so awful. I've had the bad luck of being her almost clone, so she saw me as an extension of herself and told me, "Pale carbon copy," and said jokingly my whole childhood. Didn't love the retort of "new and improved version" I came up with around 10. She would pinch the poo out of me with a smirk on her face for saying anything like that. Speaking of young and cute kids, I believe she had us all to lock down men. Yes, men. Older siblings have one dad, I have a different one, and the youngest one have the abusive one. Cute kids are easy to manipulate, and they're great bargaining chips to have others give you money and assistance. Because she was, and I am, decently attractive, I have been compared to a red-headed Kat Dennings by several people over the years. Less bobs and lips. And as I came into my own looks as a teen, she got nasty. She's also jealous of her kids. On top of all of that, she's jealous of her kids. Fam. She would scrape everyone's leftovers onto my plate and called me the family locust, always shoving food at me. I was the fat kid as a teen, until I got sick of it, but hadn't figured out it was intentional yet. Oh, so she also messed with your diet? Jesus Christ, man. And spent a summer watching portions and walking 5 miles a day most days and dropped 50 pounds in spring-summer period. She was not supportive. She fluctuated 250, 350, and last time I saw her had to be the pushing 400 limit. She's also a smoker and it shows now. She's also dyed my hair an unflattering shade of blonde between 12, 14 or so. Insisted it was cute. This just keeps going, man. Oh my god, it's like 1 page, 2 page, 3 page. Yeah, no, isn't that beautiful? I think sometimes when people cross certain boundaries, they just become constantly awful. Because I think at the core is just a lack of empathy, a lack of morals, and a weird sense of jealousy, and of course also having kids for precisely the wrong reasons. Like, you're not having kids for the sake of family or for the kids. You're having it to, like, trap other people, and you're also jealous of the kids. Jesus Christ, most healthy parents like seeing their kids succeed because it's like, you know, oh, that would be an extension of you as a parent. Like, if my kid were to succeed, then it's like, heck yeah, I did a good job raising them, so they're doing well. That's an extension of yourself. That's something to be proud of, you know? Of course you want to see your kids do well for themselves in you know, what they want to do. That would be something to take pride in, not this. What the fuck? But anyway, she built up a bungo. I would say lack of empathy. This person is an absolute train wreck. I mean, just so much stuff, man. I would put it's always a solid bet with the emoji, man. It's always a solid bet with the emoji. Happiness. A 24M. My mom destroyed everything I loved.
Why did you post your location from last night? I just saw that now.
I didn't actually, so I don't know what you're talking about. If you're going to keep doing this, I'm just going to delete it. I don't care, honestly. Just constantly stalking everything I do or buy, I'm just done. You're right. Everything that happened to me was my fault. My whole life. I don't want anything to do with anyone anymore. Please just leave me alone.
Are you serious? I just had a huge fight with Baba over you and you're speaking to me that way? I'm a freaking idiot.
And here's a picture of the room that they just trashed. They just went into the room and tossed around a lot of stuff. It looks like a lit room as well. Look at this stuff. This is like the ultimate like gamer nerd cave. I love this. Yeah, because the solution to having an argument with your family is to trash the rooms. Jesus Christ. This actually falls under a couple of wholesome stamps. It falls under location tracking, which, you know, would make sense in some scenarios, but not to like stalk a mid-20s adult. And then you also trash stuff. Congratulations. What a poo person. Unfortunately, staying for your siblings is just another way she can control you. Yeah, if you're staying at the home for the siblings, it's a very nice thing to try to do for them. So like there is someone in between the parents, but it's another way for the parents to manipulate you in that situation as well. It's not necessarily a solution. It's very hard. It's a very hard situation. Her siblings are her parents' problems, not hers. Her time has come. Their time will come too. That is so awful. When you're worried for your younger siblings and you like stay with the house, I would say maybe it's better to move out in that case because then you become more free and you can actually offer, if you want to be there for your siblings, offer like a secondary safe platform for them as well. Somewhere to spend time when the parents are overbearing or like show them that there's more to the world. You know, assist them when they want to move out, that kind of stuff if you can and want to. Stuff like that. I think both for your own health and what you can do for your siblings might actually be more if you move away from that context. Of course, I don't know enough about it, but that seems to be like the direction it's leaning in. Mom exposed me to COVID while pregnant. Yeah, I'm concerned about the sore throat now.
You are around germs, kids, all day. What do you expect?
Germy. Oh, I thought she was gonna write Germany. Yeah, but if you had COVID, if you had just stayed in your room while I was working like you said you were going to, I'd be less scared at least. I have a lot more to worry about now. And my immune system is tanking so it doesn't reject the baby glob, and I am scared.
Immune systems don't reject babies? Where in the world did you hear that?
Are you kidding? Lol. Pregnancy, your immune system, and getting sick.
I can only tell you over and over the best advice. Freaking relax. It doesn't matter if I get you COVID. Have you tried just chilling the frick out? I've actually done this before.
Get pregnant women sick with COVID? Is that what you mean?
And please don't blame me if you did get a sore throat. I didn't come near you.
You were near me a lot.
Oh, for Pete's sake, I don't want to talk to you now.
Yeah, well, likewise. Update to my mom exposing me to COVID while pregnant. Positive test. Sad emoji.
Okay, no worries. You will be fine.
Oh! Man, that's some lack of empathy, isn't it? Okay, I'm gonna just lack of responsibility. I'm gonna put this under anti-vax. It's not like specifically anti-vax, but being very not serious about very serious potential health issues and dismissing other concerns about legitimate concerns regarding health and pandemics. Yeah, no, I'm gonna put it here. They might not be a full-blown anti-vaxxer, I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if they are though with this kind of behavior, but it definitely doesn't respect other people's health concerns. My God. I am fully grown now, and it weirds me out when out of nowhere he tries to kiss me or hug me. I was not used to that growing up, and it makes me uncomfortable. Please respect my boundaries.
I am not your boyfriend. Knock it off. You tell a dude you're dating that, and I did it plenty of times you growing up, even read you, so stop it.
What?
Mom.
I will talk not now.
Yeah, I'm not a kid anymore, I'm a grown woman.
Okay, relax, it's just showing love.
No, it's not. Oh my God. Long story short, I had to move back home, and my dad has never been an affectionate father. I can count on my fingers how many times I've gotten hugs from him, and was very emotionally abusive to me growing up. As soon as I got back, he started hugging me and planting kisses on my cheek and neck, and I will move away and tell him it weirds me out. I always receive backlash from my mother and other relatives that I'm being mean, and he's trying to rebuild a relationship with me. But I think there is other ways to do that than just randomly bombarded my personal space and making me uncomfortable. He did it again tonight, and I tried to pull away from him, but he was squeezing me tight, and I literally yelled, "Let me go," and was pissed and tried to communicate it again, but he is not getting it. That sounds really, really creepy. Like you're telling me he was distant the whole life, and then the moment you become like a woman of age, then all of a sudden he's like overly touchy. I don't know, that gives me really sussy vibes, fam. Well, I'm gonna say that this is definitely invading privacy and also breaking boundaries. Isn't that fun? Oh, what a treat. Yeah, no, I would just put down my foot regarding that and say, like, I'm not gonna visit until that stops. Like, Jesus Christ, that's so inappropriate. And the fact that he would say in a text, like, I'm not your boyfriend. Okay, why would you even need to bring this up? That's weird, if there is no other vibes to this dynamic. Yeesh. Mom insults me when I am upset that my essay was brought up. Ooh, goody.
Why aren't you returning my calls? I'm your mother and I'm worried. Call me ASAP.
Mom, I don't want to talk. You didn't defend me when Aunt brought up my bad experience in front of everyone. I am hurt, and I think it's best that we don't talk right now.
Oh, don't give me that crap. She was drunk. Get over it.
That is not an excuse. Oh my God. Just because someone is a bit tipsy doesn't mean they start spewing and joking about others' trauma. Oh my God. And if they act like that only when they're drunk, then they shouldn't drink to begin with, because they become an awful person when they're doing it. Oh my God.
You can't always let that stuff get to you.
You are my mother. She brought up the most gut-wrenching thing at Christmas, and you got upset at me for defending myself. You weren't there for me when it happened, and you haven't been there after.
Oh, get the frick out. You didn't want me to be there. You pushed me away, remember? Don't try to play like you're freaking smart because I play the petty game. Don't frick with me.
I did want you to be there, Mom. I was 17 and hurting. I needed my mother, and I didn't get it. You made jokes about it, like when Rich and you brought me to the police station to file a report after, which you lied about drinking because you didn't want to drive me, and then told Blorp how you were going to file a report after when he playfully hit you on the arm. Oh my God, what awful people. I mean, who needs enemies when you have a family like this? My God.
Learn to take a joke.
That's what bullies say. That's what bullies say. The thing with a joke is that it's funny for both parties. That's like the key ingredient to a good joke. Otherwise, it's just bullying.
I didn't raise you to become stubborn all the time. I was trying to make the situation more positive, you big baby.
I mean, making something positive and minimizing it are distinct differences, though. That's not the same thing. What? It had happened 24 hours before that. Why would I want that? I needed comfort and love. You failed to give me that. Don't tell me I didn't want you to be there for me, because when I was screaming in the car, straight up hitting myself, begging to be dead, when my court date was cancelled, the day before, mind you, you weren't there. You didn't comfort me as I screamed on the top of my lungs and cried. You were upset that you couldn't drive with me in that state.
Oh, here we go again. Always the victim.
Yeah, no, I would say that's pretty, what do you mean always the victim? This is an awful thing to happen to someone. What do you, oh my, what a horrible parent. What a horrible parent. Jesus Christ.
I had my own poo to deal with that day. We all did. Stop acting like a victim all the time.
I would cut this person off so hard. I would never speak to this person again if this was me. Jesus heckin' Christ. I mean, this would be bad enough from literally anyone in your life. Like, this would be bad enough from, like, a colleague you know semi-well, or like an old friend you haven't seen for a few years. You know, this would be bad enough from literally anyone. But from your own parent. Dear God, man. For 6 months of that time period, you didn't notice how much I was struggling, how depressed I was, how I went from a straight A student to barely passing. You didn't notice anything. That's the issue. That's why we are in therapy. I was a child that needed her mom.
You were no freaking child. You were shy of turning 18 years old.
Okay, that's the most stupid argument I ever heard. You had one of the most traumatizing things happen to you. And the moment you turn a certain age, your brain just magically like, "Pa! It never happened." You know, people can like experience trauma when they're adults too, right? And stuff doesn't magically just go away for no reason. What is this person on?
Stop acting like I was absent those months. Sorry, I'm such a horrible mom.
Well, it's not a legit apology, but you are pretty horrible.
I bet you'd be happy the day I turn up dead.
And right to guilt tripping. Holy wow. Honestly, this mom could have a whole bingo card of their own, couldn't they? They like dismiss stuff, they joke about things, they defend awful family members, they minimize legit trauma, they try to turn it back at you, they reverse victim and offender, they guilt trip, and they threaten with their own demise. Yeah, I could make a bingo card for this post alone, man. This was Christmas, when I was 17. I was, this happening by a friend of 5 years in my bedroom. My aunt randomly brought it up like she was trying to debunk me. And I got defensive, so my mom got upset with me. Then this happened. I am currently no contact with her. Good. Stay that way. Stay that way. This kind of people you don't want in your life. Because even if she comes to the point where she apologizes for this, she's not really gonna change. Honestly, and if something bad happens or, you know, there is a disagreement or something, if she can't have your side regarding something as serious as this, she's not gonna have your side regarding anything. I hope you get to build your own family, one that legit cares about you, because that's something everyone deserves. Sometimes the family we are born into isn't the best deal, but you can still build a family of your own, and that is something you deserve. Alright, this is going, oh god. Okay, what do we have here? We have like, There's a lot. I would definitely say this dismisses mental health, for sure. God, it's so bad, man. Everything about it is just bad. It's like also, you know, breaking boundaries. It's not standing up for your kid. Lack of empathy, definitely. Oh my, I'll put a few in that one. There we go. Good measure. I think that should be about it. And about it, I mean like 5 stamps from that one post alone. Congratulations. Jeez, what an awful person. Linda Lernell. Linda Lernell Smith Stahl was born in October 1, 1951. Welcomed to the world by loving parents who protected her in death. In February of 1969, she gave birth to her first child, Gail. Learned deceived her first husband, Roderick, into believing he was the first child's biological father. They married and divorced when Gail was 3 years old. Lernell then had Gail adopted by her second husband, Frank. They divorced after a decade of marriage. Gail never heard from Frank again. Lernell's third husband, James, did really bad intimate stuff to Gail when she was 13. Instead of protecting her daughter, Lernell accused Gail of trying to steal her husband and proceeded to beat her senselessly. After another divorce, Lernell acquired her fourth husband, though the unofficial or illegitimate word of mouth, inmate-run Jackson State Prison pen pal program. In between and during her marriages, there were a variety of unsavory men in and out of our home. As a mother, Lernell was violent, hateful, and cruel. She physically, mentally, emotionally, verbally, and financially abused the daughter. Lernell allowed for her many inappropriate suitors to naughtily do things to Gail. Lernell's abuse continued into Gail's adulthood, attempting to physically, verbally, emotionally, and mentally abuse her in front of her children. Gail had to establish no contact in order to protect herself and her family. That was 24 years ago. In March of 2023, Gail unexpectedly found out who her biological father was through a popular online DNA service. After years of deception from Lernell regarding who Gail's father was, Gail and her family are navigating the waters of getting to know their parental biological family. This is it. Lernell will never be the mother and grandmother that she could have chosen to be to her family. That door is closed forever with her death. That is what Gail and her family grieve, who their mother and grandmother could have been. While they are afraid that Gail, her husband, and their 4 children cannot share their grief, their heartache lies with Lernell's brothers and sisters, their aunts, uncles, and cousins, as they grieve the death of complicated family members who they love very much. Lernell passed away December 2023 in 3 Rivers, MI, and will now face judgment. Gail and her family forgive Lernell in hope that she has found peace. They also hope to find peace within themselves. Lernell will not be missed by Gail or her family. Yeah, this doesn't sound like there's much to miss, to be honest. They all understand that the world is a much better place without her. That was a roller coaster. I guess this is like one of those newsprint articles where you talk about the passing. of relatives and that kind of stuff, like the death ads in papers, but it's pretty savage. And rightfully so. Jesus Christ. Go straight under emoji. Oh my god. I would honestly say that at least the last part of it, they found love. They built their own family. I would say it has a good ending, which is actually wholesome. It brings me like a bit of hope that even when bad things happen, people still can end up happy, which is a really nice takeaway in many situations. Although the parent is absolutely awful. Jesus Christ. Burn in hell. Next meme. I am a 30-year-old woman, clean record, going to a friend's family New Year's Eve party with my baby and husband.
Are you guys spending the night at friends?
No.
I'm worried about you coming home late with all the drunk drivers out. The police are going to be out in force, but they cannot catch them all.
I'm sorry you feel worried. We will be okay. Love you.
Well, to ease my mind, please text me when you get home, and please do not smoke around my baby.
I will if I remember, and yes, I promise I'm a good parent. That's kind of offensive. You think I would do that?
Sorry you feel that way, but brain damage is permanent. Look at my brother.
I don't do drugs near baby. Never have, never will. Does she seem brain damaged to you? My mom has untreated anxiety, and I try to be kind, but she really offended me this time. I do smoke weed, but never near my kid, and my kid has never in any way been exposed to it.
Oh no, okay, well this falls straight under a little bit of projecting anxiety, isn't it? And we have our first bingo! Ba-ba-ba-bungo!
We have projecting anxiety, trashing property, anger issues, invading privacy, and insulting your child. Yippee! So happy. This reminds me of the yippee bugs in Lethal Company, doesn't it? Yippee! Formula is evil, so give your baby E. coli and salmonella instead. These idiots are going to get someone killed.
All store-bought baby formula is dangerous and unhealthy. Here is how I make natural baby formula. 1 cup of raw milk, 2 raw eggs, 1 or more tablespoons of raw honey, shake it up in a bottle and give it to your child. I guarantee they will love this drink.
Readers added context they thought people might want to know. Raw eggs should never be given to a baby as they may contain salmonella and lead to food poisoning. Oh my god, dude. No.
Well, this just falls straight under a little bit of Facebook science, doesn't it, Zippy?
What else does it? My god, we have so many like almost bingos. You have this, here, and here. Oh my god, it's so close. At least we have one. I'm happy with the bingo. Oh no, we have a diagonal bingo! We got a diagonal one with the wholesome. Whoa, we have 2 bingos. I almost missed it.
Mama, I am pretty much done with you. Please call me back at your earliest convenience. Oh, by the way, your dad is just going to love this shit I'm about to spit on his ass. You should have been my back, bitch. I never look any fucking kind of fucking drugs when I was at your fucking house, you fucking whore. Oh, by the way, and yes, I love you.
The contrast between those 2 texts.
Tell my boyfriend I will talk to him soon. That should make him cry. Oh, and by the way, I am sober as Judge. You can suck my ass. Sounds about right. I'm not surprised that you will not answer my phone call. Also, I'm not afraid of texting anything that I'm truthful about. We can talk this weekend. I probably won't be pissed then.
Oh, well, I was asleep at 6 a.m. These texts came at 6 a.m. Oh, no. Well, I was asleep at 6 a.m., so let's discuss whatever is going on Sunday.
Right.
I'm so glad I got to cross this one out. Oh my god. We got a bingo! Creep, and Facebook science, location tracking, and actually wholesome. I would also say this falls under freak out, honestly, but it doesn't really get a bingo, sadly. My god, what a bummer. Well, isn't that a beautiful Insane Parents bingo? Let's check out how much bingo we actually got. We got a bingo with insulting child, invading privacy, anger issues, trashing property, and projecting anxiety. We also have a diagonal bingo, insulting your child, breaking boundaries, dismissing mental health, and actually wholesome. And then we also have a third bingo, creep, Facebook science, location tracking, and actually wholesome. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for showing up here for some Insane Parents bingo. I do hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you again in the very near future. Take care. Mwah.